Hi fans of high quality entertainment, and all of you Sparks fans out there worldwide. I've got a cramp in my foot. That's actually a Sparks song. Just joking. So this is their debut album, but I'll just read you a little snippet about it. And then I'm going to review it, I'm going to rank it, and I'm going to talk about the production, the album cover, the lyrics, my favorite song, my least favorite song, and my album rating. That's right, album rating. Use my announcer voice.
Sparks, originally titled Half Nelson. If I don't insert the album cover, you'll be looking at my thing. The band's original name, and reissued a year later as their debut album by Sparks. So it was originally Half Nelson. They decided to change their name and re-release the album as Sparks. It's really simple. And it was initially released on Bearsville Records in 1971. Shortly after the release of the album, the group changed their name to Sparks. The album was then re-released by Bearsville Records in 1972 as Sparks. The new version of the album featured new artwork that was simpler, displaying the group in more of a classic pose superimposed against a red brick pattern.
The single to this reissue, Wonder Girl, the opening song, became a minor regional hit in Alabama and appeared on the lower end of the Cashbox chart at 92. The tracks Roger and Saccharin and the War are re-recorded versions of songs from their Untitled 1969 demo album, which is mistakenly referred to as a Woofer in Tweeter's Clothing demos. But they actually started. Their first recordings were made under the name of Urban Renewal Project on January 14th, 1967. And there's one song released, Computer Girl, that's on the new 2019 Past Tense Greatest Hits album. And it's a really cool track, way ahead of their times. Computer Girl in 1967. So, I became a fan of Sparks in 1974 with Kimono My House and then Propaganda. And then before Indiscreet from 1975, produced by Tony Visconti, before I bought that, I bought their first two albums, Sparks and A Woofer in Tweeter's Clothing, which I'm reviewing next. And they were so different from the third album. It was kind of a shock, especially A Woofer in Tweeter's Clothing, which is actually pretty different than this one. And of the two, I love this one a lot more. And it took me a little time to love A Woofer in Tweeter's Clothing. It starts out with Wonder Girl, and there's footage, if I remember, I'll post at the end of this, early footage of Sparks lip-syncing to Wonder Girl on a German TV show. It's a catchy, kind of a normal pop song. Fala Fali kind of sounds, it's like Sparks were New Age before New Age, before the late 70s when New Age was all the rage. Roger, written by Russell Mael, it's usually Ron Mael, his brother, that writes most of the lyrics. High C, Fletcher Honorama, Simple Ballet, Slow Boat is a beautiful, gorgeous ballad. But you need to, like a lot of Sparks songs, you need to listen to it more than once to really appreciate it. But it's a beautiful melody. If any song on this, even though it's not my favorite song on the album, if any song you want to check out, it would be Slow Boat by Sparks on this album. Biology 2, written by Earl Mankey, one of the two Mankey brothers, and his brother, Jim Mankey, in the 80s was a member of Concrete Blonde, if you remember that band. Biology 2 is probably the weirdest Sparks song of them all, and that's saying a lot, with speeded up vocals, but it's really cool. I really love it. Saccharin and the War, also written by Russell Mael, and there's this little squeaky mouse that's in the track that goes along with the rhythm, and I just love it. It's really cool. Big Bands is it's really hard to describe songs. It's just I love these songs. And the album ends with the rocking No More Mr. Nice Guys, which came before the Alice Cooper hit No More Mr. Nice Guys. So overall, I absolutely love this album. It was produced by Todd Rundgren, who later on produced lots of big hits like Meatloaf and The Tubes and many, many artists. And I guess in the upcoming documentary, I always forget the guy's name, but in the upcoming documentary, Todd Rundgren, they're talking about Todd Rundgren producing this album, and I guess they hadn't seen each other since this album. And I guess Todd Rundgren walks in and surprises them and has a nice meeting with them, I hope, unless there's some fisticuffs or something. But it's a great, great debut album. One of my favorites. Production 7. Sorry, Todd Rundgren. He seems to prefer kind of on the trebly side, at least to me. And later on, like, he also did Grand Funk's We're an American Band. But he's a very talented guy, but production-wise, it's good, but it's not one of my favorite productions. The album cover, the original Half Nelson that I had here earlier, I give it an 8 out of 10. It's a eye-catching cover. This one is a 7. It does show their personalities, kind of, even with Ron Mael with his longer hair at the time. That's his brother Russell. And I always get these guys confused, but I believe that is the drummer. I always forget how Harley Benstein, I hope that's how you pronounce it, that guy there. We're Facebook friends, and he's a nice guy. You know, I don't bug him too much, but he asked me a question recently about the footage, and I hopefully remember to show at the end of this. And yeah. Oh, enough about me. So the album covers a 7. The lyrics. Now, there are going to be, in the future, which is a Sparks song, in the future there are going to be some that aren't going to be a 10. But the lyrics on this and a lot of their albums are a 10. My favorite song, No More Mr. Nice Guys. My least favorite song, Simple Ballet. I never really liked it too much when I first bought the album, but I like it a lot more now. I really like it. I don't think I love it, but I like the song. But it's not my favorite. But overall, yeah. Overall, I give this a 9 out of 10. And in my rankings, it's number 1, because I haven't ranked or reviewed any of their other albums yet. And that's it. Thanks for watching. Leave your comments below. And like I said with the Paul McCartney series, this is going to be a long series.